Wow, it's the year 2023, and this is my video for my ode to my future best self. So, who am I today? I am a mother, I'm a student, I am an employee, and I am a mentor. And I take each and every one of these jobs very seriously. So, who was I prior to Dr. Deptula's critical thinking class? I would like to think that I was someone that pretty much had a good idea of what it is that I wanted to do. You pretty much had your plan put together as far as you'll go through here, go through this program, go to school, be at this certain mark in your career, and you really stuck to that. But what you didn't include was the foundation, the little lessons that you would need that would help you get to where you essentially need to be. So who were you after Dr. Deptula's class? You was someone who actually put in a little bit more thought into your plans and your processes. You put together a strategic flight that carried you from point A to point B. So no longer were you just saying, oh, I have this goal that I want to accomplish. You strategically researched everything you needed to know first, and then you put that play into action. In order to kind of determine what kind of leader you were, we had to really know what it was like and what makes you tick, what makes you who you are. And if anyone was to ask you at any moment in your life, what do you do everything for? It would be your children. My 4 boys are the foundation for any and everything that I do. My planning, my encouragement, my empowerment comes from them. So you hold fast to making sure that you accomplish these goals, not only for yourself, but you do it for them as well. So in the class, we kind of talked about discovering what type of leader you were, and through various exercises, you were able to determine that based upon the 7 transformations of leadership, the person that you were in 2018 was more of a diplomatic leader. And the diplomatic leader is someone that loyally serves the group. The diplomat seeks to please higher status colleagues while avoiding conflict. This action logic is focused on gaining control of one's own behavior more than on gaining control of the external events and other people. This was something that came more so through your interaction, where you began to place higher values on loyalty, not just to yourself, but loyalty to your coworkers, loyalty to your team, loyalty to your company. And that actually carried you very far in your career. The next style of leadership that you had to grow into was more of an alchemist leader. But I like to put a spin on it by thinking that I am an alchemist leader with a diplomatic undertone, which means although you moved towards the alchemist category, you still held fast to the diplomatic values. So the definition of the alchemist was it has an extraordinary capacity to deal simultaneously with many situations at multiple levels. The alchemist can talk with both kings and commoners. He can deal with immediate priorities, yet never lose sight of long-term goals. This was something that you prided yourself on, and building yourself and your network to be one that's fully supportive is something that you have always dreamed to do. So who are you? Your leadership, your brand. If you take a look at this picture right here, back in 2018, you stepped out of your comfort zone and accepted a board position at the Children's Safety Village. This was something that was very new to you, but you wanted to kind of raise awareness of your brand, make the necessary connections that you would need to not only allows you to support your professional growth, but also your growth as a person. When we look at this slide, which shows the words of encouragement, these are the things that you would constantly remind yourself of daily. That's being empowered, that's you're career driven, you succeed, motivation, positivity, you believe in positive energies and synergies, and that's what you hold fast to, and that's what you become known for. So who is Sequina? Sequina is someone that is loyal. She's someone that is determined. You are someone that is goal-driven, and you are a mentor, and that is what you have always strived to be, and hopefully that's what you are still today in 2023. But in order to determine what your brand was, there were a few things that you had to learn about yourself. The most important lesson is determine your end goal. Take the time to think about what you're known for and what you want to be known for. Be clear, concise, and true to your brand. Without an end goal, how can you say that you have achieved everything that you sought out to accomplish? These are the things that you need to think about, not only then, but you also need to think about these things as you see yourself progressing further and further into your career. Lesson 2, know what you're not. So just as important as it is for you to know who you are, where you want to go, you have to know the things that you're not comfortable with, that you're not an expert in. By knowing your personal brand, it's important to know that we can't let people's perceptions and their temptations box us in. We can't allow them to turn us into something that we are not. So by doing that, you stay true to yourself and know when you have to say no. So the next step was understanding the 6 components of leadership. You held fast to making sure that any plan you had kind of kept these in mind, which would allow you to plan your attack of your goals and the different steps that you sought out to achieve. Self-observation is to increase one's awareness of when and why to act. You have to know what you do and why you do it. Know that every situation does not cause for a reaction. The next step was self-goal setting, the decision about what goals to pursue and how you should pursue them. Self-rewards and compensations, self-punishment, self-cueing, and self-determination. These are the 6 components of leadership that you had to take into account, and now that you know them, you can use them to help mold you into the leader that you've always wanted to be. According to Dr. Depler, the 3 pillars of leader development can be defined as the following. The first pillar is being. This is our leader identity. This is the way that we see ourselves as a leader. You practice on, hey, this is what I want to be, and no matter what, this is what I am. The second pillar is knowing. It's knowing who you are and what you feel about leading. And the last pillar is doing. These are the instances in which we practice being a leader that is actually worth following. Being a leader is a growth process that allows you to distinguish yourself from others at the end of the day. So when you think about your career path, your desired career path, and what it'll take to achieve your goals, developing your developmental network, creating your developmental network is one of the main things that you have to take into account. Just by doing some of the exercises, you were able to determine that in order to get to where you really want to be, you'll need to increase your mentors, your superior relationships, your subordinate relationships. It's okay to surround yourself with people that encourage your growth, that support you, but it's just as equally as important for you to surround yourself with people that aren't afraid to criticize you, that don't have that close relationship connection with you, that they're able to really allow you and push you to be the leader that you've always wanted to be. And if you take all of these things into consideration, I know that you will be the leader that you desire to be. So 2023, you're here, and I know that you are everything that you sought out to be.